Well, today, everybody, let's do an update video on my S by Solar 3/4 guitar, the mini guitar that I unboxed a couple days ago. Let's talk about it again. Let's start the video off with a jam, though, all right? So, let's dive on in. At the time of this filming, just a couple days ago, I bought this guitar myself and it arrived here in my home. And, I bought it just because it's the cheapest Solar guitar of all time. It's a little Solar. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like a fun, cool little idea that I had, just to buy the first and or the cheapest, S by Solar guitar, right? Unfortunately, my own personal experience, I really didn't have a great initial impression. Now, before I say another word, man, my content is not to bash nor criticize or talk negatively about any sort of brand. I would go as far as to say I hate that type of content. I really think that's small energy. Just being 1,000% honest. That is so corny to me, okay? With that being said, anytime I make a video where it's not the most favorable, we'll say, it kind of bums me out, and I, presented that in the unboxing video, right? The main issue with this guitar was there was intonation problems. Now, a lot of you guys in the comments section were saying, oh, dude, you didn't spend any time intonating it. And so what I did that night of the unboxing is I wanted to double check my work, triple check my work, because in the unboxing, I said I was messing with it for several hours. Guys, what do you think I was doing for several hours? Playing video games? Hanging out with this thing? Eating a bag of chips? No, I was working on it, trying to get it, somewhat set up just so I could play some silly riffs on it. Here's a clip of me a couple nights ago checking the intonation as closely as I can get it on a short scale guitar, and it just, it's not that intonated. And I really think the issue lies with the nut and or light gauge of strings. All that aside, man, that unboxing was kind of a bummer, right? So for today's video, I just did a nice little jam, right? I put on 11 to 56 strings on this guitar. I took one of my 7-string sets and then I just didn't use the 7-string. So it was the first 6 strings of my 7-string set. That helped out the tuning slightly. But I really think where the pitfall with just, not this guitar particularly, but just 3/4 scale guitars, you run the risk of, intonation problems and tuning problems. And so I want to ask you guys in the comments section from the previous video, a lot of you guys were going back and forth and saying it's a kid's guitar, but it's also a short scale guitar, so put some heavier gauge of strings on it. So which is it? Because a kid isn't going to be playing 11s or 12s, right? So is it a kid's guitar or is it a short scale guitar? And I'm being a little facetious here, but the point is, man, just the sole intent of that unboxing was just to riff on it real quick, and I wasn't having a good time, I guess. Another thing I want to address is a lot of you guys were asking why even buy one of these guitars, and there's 2 reasons. The first reason is, first and foremost, I am a musician. I am not a gear reviewer. Now, I know a lot of my channel over the years has been heavily, dedicated to gear. I'm not naive to that, and I'm not pretending like I haven't done that, but if you guys have noticed over the years, the gear content has slowly slowed down, and it's more or less just becoming my passion for being a musician and for playing guitar and just sharing it with you all. I mean, think about all the gear that I've had on this channel this year. Almost every single piece of gear that I got, I took out on the road between 2 US tours. The Vola 7-string, that's back there out of frame in the case. The Marshall JVM, the Kiesel A2, my wireless, Quad Cortex, etc. All this gear that I have acquired, I now put it through its paces and put it to the test. I tour with it and I write with it. Speaking of which, my album just hit almost 75,000 streams in a couple months on Spotify. Thank you guys so much for that. But my point is, it's I'm not a gear reviewer. I'm a musician. I'm a creator. I like to create things. So anytime I get a quirky instrument or a unique instrument, I'm always curious to see as to what I can pull out of this creatively. Because let's face it, how many standard scale guitars do I have? lots. You know what I mean? Like, why not try something different? Second reason why I bought this guitar is for my own personal R&D on S by Solar. To me, I view this nothing more than like a paint sample, we'll say, of S by Solar. You know, I don't have any sort of ins with Solar guitar or anything like that. Yeah, sure, like, you know, they know who I am and vice versa. But my point is, it's like, I'm still just a consumer and a customer, just like you. I felt as though I could spend the least amount of money to get a sample of S by Solar and then ultimately decide if I want to get a full scale or a 7-string, etc. Not to mention, there's a lot of mothers and fathers that watch my channel, and Christmas time is right around the corner, and a lot of people were contemplating getting this guitar, this very guitar, for their child for Christmas. So I totally understand that, you know, a lot of you guys play standard scale guitars such as myself, but doing something a little left to center was my intent, and I have no regrets whatsoever. It's a really cool guitar, but for me, it just doesn't work that well for what I need it to do. Could a kid get on this thing? Sure. But, you know, just for me being an adult now, it's just not the most useful thing. And that statement is not a reflection of my opinion on Solar guitars or S by Solar. Like, I love the brand so much. Think about this. Who has waved the Solar guitars flag on the internet more than me? Like, truthfully. Like, I am, like, their biggest fan, I feel like, man. I love the brand so much, and I love Ola and the team and everybody behind it. Like, they're doing something really good for all of us. So, like, just because I got a guitar that I personally didn't like with a little bit of imperfections and it didn't play so well for me personally, that doesn't change a damn thing for me. So I don't know what the future holds with this guitar. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, or I don't know. It's like, it's cool. Like, I kind of really sincerely like it. It's like a little model Solar, but you know, it just does still have some issues, even with a little bit of thicker strings. To me, there's no point in even showing you guys. Like, I'm just so not into like showing flaws. And it's kind of a double-edged sword and a catch-22, because it's like, I don't want to represent a brand unfavorably, but at the same time, I don't want to hide something and or hide my opinions, because it's like, that's not fair to you, and it's most importantly not fair to myself. So it's a lose-lose, a catch-22, right? All right, everybody. I think that explains everything, man. Yeah, dude, I love Solar guitars. This doesn't change a damn thing. It's a cute, cool little guitar, but, you know, for me, for what I need it to do, maybe I should have gone with a standard scale. But like I said, no regrets, right? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, man. I enjoy you guys so much. Thank you so much for just always being here and tuning back in. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Later.